You were probably told Corgis are easy, low-maintenance dogs. Although that's true for some breeds, a Corgi without a job is a Corgi that invents one. And usually, that's biting your ankle. In this video, I'm showing you the breed history of the Corgi and why that history triggers the exact biting reflex. Stay with me for the next couple of minutes because by the end of it, you'll know why the Welsh legends say the markings on your Corgi's back was left there by a fairy's saddle. But first, the part that most owners get wrong, which Corgi came first. Did you know there are two Corgi breeds, and they're less related than most people assume? The Cardigan Welsh Corgi is the older of the two, with roots tracing back to early Celtic settlers. Some accounts push that back as far as Bronze Age Wales, though that part is more oral tradition than documented. The Pembroke Welsh Corgi showed up centuries later, somewhere between the 10th and the 12th centuries, and historians still argue about exactly how that is. One theory says that Vikings brought over the Swedish herding dog. Another says Flemish weavers, invited into Wales by King Henry I, brought their own small Spitz-type dog with them. Realistically, it was probably both. Here's the fast way to tell them apart. Cardigan Corgis keep a full, long tail. Pembroke Corgis are known for a short bobtail, and the real reason why is not what you'd guess. More on that in a minute. Even the name is a clue. Corgi most likely comes from the Welsh cor and see, dwarf and dog. Some historians argue it comes from cur, an old Welsh word for watchful working dog. Either version fits. Short body, big job. And that job explains almost everything your Corgi does at home. Corgis are healers, not herders, like a border collie. A border collie controls a flock by staring it down and stalking it. A Corgi's job was to get in close, nip a full-grown cow's heel to get it moving, then drop flat or spin away before that cow kicked it. Shorter legs, low center of gravity, a fast pivot. Every piece of the body was built for that one maneuver. That's not a temperament flaw showing up in your living room. That's a 1,000-year-old cattle driving system now aimed at your ankles instead of the cow. Now the fairy story I promised you. Welsh folklore claims Corgis weren't originally farm dogs at all. The legend says fairies used them to pull fairy coaches and carry fairy warriors into battle. And that faint marking across the Corgi's shoulders and back, where the coat pattern shifts, legend says that's the mark left behind by the fairy saddle. Obviously that's a myth, but it's part of the reason why this breed had such a loyal following long before anyone had the internet to fall in love with the dog online. That devotion eventually reached Buckingham Palace. In 1933, King George VI bought a Pembroke Welsh Corgi puppy named Dookie for his daughters, one of his daughters being a young Princess Elizabeth. She stayed a Corgi owner for the rest of her life, personally owning more than 30 of them, including a Corgi Dachshund cross named Dorky. Dorky? Dorgy. That royal spotlight is a massive part of why this breed became a household name. Now back to the bobtail. Historically, Pembroke tails were docked short for a practical reason. A long tail working close to a cow's hooves was a tail that was going to get stepped on or crushed in a gate. There's also a popular story that a UK tail tax on pet dogs pushed owners to dock their dog's tail so it looked like a working animal and qualified for a tax exemption. That part is more repeated folklore than documented fact, but it stuck around for a reason. What is fact? Cosmetic tail docking is now banned across the UK and most of Europe. So plenty of Pembrokes today are naturally born with a short bobtail, and some are born with a full tail depending on genetics and where they come from. Some quick breed stats for you. These are based on the AKC breed standards for both of the breeds. The Pembroke Corgis are going to be about 10 to 12 inches at the shoulder. They'll weigh about 30 pounds fully grown. The Cardigan Corgi, about 10.5 to 12.5 inches at the shoulder and up to about 38 pounds fully grown. Noticeably bigger and longer bodied than a Pembroke. The lifespan for both breeds is going to be 12 to 15 years. Common health issues of Corgis include disc disease, this is driven by their long back, hip dysplasia, eye conditions like progressive retinal atrophy, and did you know that obesity is actually the biggest risk multiplier for all of these conditions? Even more of an important fact to keep our Corgis on a great diet and great exercise regimen. Exercise. Corgis are going to need at least 30 to 60 minutes of daily exercise. Remember, a bored Corgi is a louder, nippier Corgi. Corgis can be good with kids and other dogs, but they still need good training, structure, and supervision to make sure their herding instinct is kept under wraps. So are Corgis easy to train? Yes, if you respect that drive instead of fighting it head on. Here's the 3-step system we run with every Corgi that comes through our training program. Step 1, condition your verbal markers. Yes, releases the dog to come to you for a reward. Good, tells your Corgi to stay put, keep doing what it's doing, and the reward will come. And no is a calm, neutral accountability marker. Said once, no yelling, no repeating, no using the dog's name before it. Step 2, build engagement. You cannot stop a Corgi from fixating on moving feet until it volunteers to look at you instead. Every check-in gets marked and rewarded. Step 3, teach your Corgi leash pressure. This is how we undo opposition reflex. This is where you're going to put light tension on your leash, and when your Corgi moves with the leash instead of fighting against it, you mark it and reward it. If you've got a Corgi puppy at home, here's the fast version of potty training, crate training, and socialization. We have full videos on these on our channel as well. Potty training. Make sure you have a consistent schedule and supervision. Reward your Corgi every time they potty outside, and make sure they're not able to potty inside with your setup routine and your setup supervision. Crate training. Never use the crate as punishment, and make sure to build a positive association to your crate. You can do this by feeding your Corgi their meals in the crate and by using the crate as a resting period after exercise and training sessions. Socialization. That's providing your Corgi with positive experiences and close proximity to new people, places, and things. You can do this by taking your Corgi to different places and doing your engagement training there. Reward your Corgi for giving you great eye contact. When your Corgi chooses to look at you versus things going on around you, say good and reward them. And you can do the muscle memory for your obedience training there as well. All of these work to provide positive associations in those new places. Don't feel like you have to force your puppy to interact with other people or dogs. That is a whole separate phase of socialization training. Separation anxiety with a Corgi can be a real thing, so make sure you set yourself up for success as soon as you get your Corgi puppy. First of all, practice healthy separation throughout the day when you're home with your Corgi. Do small times in the crate when you're home so your Corgi is getting used to not always being right next to you. Practice departures and arrivals back home while your Corgi's still home, and don't make it a big deal when you leave or come. Corgis are generally food motivated and smart, which makes early training very fast, but it can also mean that bad habits get rehearsed just as quickly if you let them. Now, door manners matter more with this breed than most others. A Corgi that's allowed to blow through a front door practices that exact same opposition reflex energy that causes the ankle biting in the first place. Every door, every time, you need to make sure they wait for your release to go through it. Weave some place time into your training time as well. When you're eating dinner or when your guests come over, that's a perfect opportunity to practice place. And on your daily walks, turn those into a training session. Have your Corgi heel next to you. That way it's a structured walk and not an uncontrolled nightmare. A Corgi can be a fantastic family dog for an owner who's ready to give it a job. If you want a dog that naps by the door all day, this might not be the breed for you. And if you want to know what to feed your Corgi and how much that might cost, you need to watch our dog food tier list video right here.